Hey guys, I got engaged. Okay, this is gonna be my engagement story. So take a seat, grab a snack, grab a drink. I don't know, clutch your pearls. So my man proposed to me on stage at Nate Jackson's Super Funny Comedy Club. Um, Basically, here's a little backstory, but I think it's just so ironic that literally last Sunday I had filmed and edited the Music Saved My Life episode and talked about how music brought me and my man together, and I ended up meeting him at an open mic because we're both rappers. We are both artists. Now we're both DJs as well. Um, and how I feel like music led me to a lot of people that I was meant to be around, that I was meant to know, that were meant to be a part of my village and me theirs. And of course, my man, first and foremost, is the one. You know what I'm talking about? And I was talking about how he is my person. And that night, he proposed to me. So, but some backstory, we ended up meeting at an open mic in my city, and he heard me spit, so he came over and basically was like, hey, I'm a rapper too. I think you're dope. Can I get your socials? And that's kind of like how, the ball got started rolling. But that Sunday morning, he had a brunch gig. We were there from 11 to 3. He was trying, I didn't know this, but he was trying to get my siblings, my sister, my brother, my sister-in-law to get me out of the house. But he had 2 gigs at Nate Jackson's that night, so he had a really packed day. And so one of the shows started at 5 and one of them started at 7. Me, my brother, sister-in-law, and best friend were going to go to the 7 p.m. show. So I had some free time in between. However, I wanted to help him pack up all of his equipment and then also take it back to the house and help him unload, because he needed to be at the second venue at a certain time, and just like he would have been rushing and I didn't want that to happen. I wanted to be helpful. And so he was like, no, you don't need to help me. No, it's fine. And originally the plan was I was going to stay and help him. So I was like, what? No, like you need my help in order for this time, like for this to make sense. And so he's trying to like lightly convince me, but I'm so weird about my time. Okay, if you know me, you know, like if I have a plan, I'm sticking to it. And if anything throws me off that plan, or if someone else tries to throw me off that plan, I start freaking the fuck out. And I was getting annoyed because like my sister messaged me and was like, hey, Elijah, which is our brother, said that you were going to be free from this time to this time before the comedy show. Did you want to hang out? And I was like, no, I'm not going to be free. And she's like, oh, well, you should probably tell Elijah that, because he's like adamant that you're free. And I'm like, that's so weird. So I'm like, ask my man, I'm like, why is my brother texting you about my schedule? Like, what's going on there? I'm glad you guys are all buddy and shit, but like, you don't know about my schedule? Like, also, yeah, technically I have time to go do something before the second show, but I don't want to. I want to help you pack up, and then I want to decompress before the second show, because if I'm out all day, I'm going to be cranky as shit. And so my boyfriend was like, okay, I don't know, I just feel like it would be fun to see your siblings, like they're in town, da da da. And I was like, I'm gonna see them tonight, like what is the issue? So multiple people trying to get me out to stay out of the house like multiple times, and I just was getting annoyed because I was like, my siblings never bother me this much about shit. Like, we're literally gonna see each other tonight, we're not clingy, we're just not like that. So I was like, what the f is happening? Anyways, yeah, so I help him. I go to the brunch with him. I help him pack up. We come back to the apartment. I help him pack up, and then he has to immediately leave for his show at 5. So I've had like an hour and a half, and I really wanted to decompress, wear some comfy clothes, because that dress was really just hurting. And also I wanted to make an episode because I hadn't filmed it all that week. So I was like, oh, I need to film. So I was like, okay, perfect. I had the apartment to myself. And then my best friend was like, hey, we should leave early and go get some drinks before the show. So I was like, sure. So I like film, do my thing, and then we leave the house by 5:30. And then we get to the show, and then I'm just thinking like the show started like an hour and a half late. So I was like, damn, I didn't even need to, I could have been at home. We could have stayed out longer, like done something. And then I knew that my man's mom was going to be in from out of town. And so there was like, they had reserved seats for us at the front. And I was very surprised by that, because usually like he's gotten me tickets before, but like usually they kind of like stick you in the back, because it's like, okay, well, we have extra seats for you. So like you can just kind of like fit back here. So they had reserved a table of 5 for us right at the front of the stage, and I was like, wow, that's really nice. That's really bougie. He must have told them he had a lot of, people coming in from out of town, so like his manager probably, made sure, like, that's sweet of them. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, so basically, his mom was supposed to come sit with us, but she had brought her friend, and he ended up inviting my best friend like the night before, and so there was supposed to be 6 seats, not 5. So his mom and his friend had to end up sitting like to the left behind us. So Nate comes on stage and he's like doing his thing. I had one lemon drop, but I haven't drank in weeks because I'm trying to go on a hiatus from alcohol for a little bit. But I was like, man, like you have to buy 2 items at the comedy club while you're there. So I was like, let me just get a drink. Like, okay. So I get a lemon drop and I'm like, obviously not drunk. I'm not tipsy either, but I'm just warm. I'm a little bit more loose than I probably would be. And so I'm like, I'm not heckling because he's like interacting with the crowd, and crowd work obviously is Nate's big thing. So we're like going back and forth and stuff. Like, I'm like, he's making fun of my brother. I'm like, oh, we all have biblical names. He's making fun of my friend because she looks like a witch. He's like, it's just all fun and games. And then he's like, oh, nice to meet you. And I was like, we've met before because I've met him twice now because he's talked to my boyfriend and I was there. And so obviously everyone makes a joke like, oh, you can't say that or everyone's going to think that I've you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, my man is the DJ. And so he was like, oh, okay. So he started messing with me. But what I did not know is that my man had texted him ahead of time to be like, hey, I'm doing it tonight. Like, he knew it was happening. However, they were going to figure out some like really corny stuff, I guess, at the very end of the show to somehow get me on stage. Because everyone, for some reason, was worried about getting me on stage. And I'm like, I'm an attention seeker, so it shouldn't be that hard to get me on stage. But like, they're right, it is 50-50 depending on my mood. So I guess my man's mom was supposed to be sitting next to me to kind of like encourage me when it was time. So they were like nervous about that, but I was like yapping all on my own. And so he was like, oh, how'd you guys meet? And I was like, oh, we met at an open mic and we're both rappers. And he was like, you're a rapper? And I was like, yes. And then the crowd's like trying to get me to freestyle. I say no because I'm out of practice and everyone starts booing me. He's like, relax, relax. And I tell him, I'm like, my man though, he has my song. He has my song in his DJ crates. And so he can play that right now. And so he did. And he gave me the mic and I started performing in front of 200 plus people at this famously owned comedy club. So I rap a verse, and then he has my man, he's like, well, your man's a rapper too. He's like, come on, like spin your track and come out here, and y'all are gonna battle. So
you ready to rap your shit too? I quit for sure. He's short, calm down. Where he at?
So I'm like, okay. I already know my man is better than me, so I'm like, yeah, he's way better. I'm obviously cheering him on, supporting him, and he's like, you know what, why don't you come on stage too?
Look, she already supporting him and shit. Come up here too, fuck it, y'all a couple. Let's be beautiful together.
You guys are a couple. I'm like, okay, I didn't think anything of it because like sure, I thought he was about to have me like rap another one of my songs. I don't know, our DJ friend was back there who also works at the club. So I was like, maybe like he'll play another one of my songs that he has in my crates, but I didn't think he had any more anyways. Whatever. So he starts playing his song. I'm like so nervous because even though I get up there and perform, it's like when I'm performing, it's my energy, but like I don't know how to be like a hype woman for someone else on stage. I felt like I was just awkwardly standing in the back like this. Like, there
we go. I'm gonna take you back a little bit.
It felt so weird. But I was trying my best to look and appear comfortable and normal. But my man starts playing his song, and then Nate gets back on and is like, no, play the romantic one.
It was a slapper. Second, nigga, you up here with your girl tomorrow. I'm gonna take you back a little bitch. He got more songs. Do the other song, the romantic one.
Like cuts him off and was like, no, play the romantic one. So my man looks back to the DJ, our friend, and is like, hey, play the last one on the list.
Hey, play the one that's on the list, the last one.
And so it's like waiting a second. My man's kind of like interacting with the crowd to like keep them distracted while he's getting that last song played. And then the last song comes on, and it is not his music. And I just remember sitting there being like, this ain't your song. And he had handed me the microphone, and I was like, I'm not rapping. I was like, this is your song. Like, what are you doing? And then it just clicks. He's playing Strawberry Skies by Kid Travis, which is in our soul. We have a shared playlist called My Soulmate, and it is one of our favorites in there. It's very romantic, it's very sweet, and it's one of the first songs that we ever put in there. I realized that, and as I realized that, I looked down and this motherfucker is on one knee.
Y'all enjoying the show so far? There we go. This is completely different. I ain't never seen a Nate Jackson show go this way.
He has the ring out on one knee, and like it felt so surreal. Literally just like got chills, immediately started crying. I was shaking. The whole room was so fucking loud. I was like, originally I told him I didn't want a public like proposal, so everyone was really nervous that he was doing it this way, but it was a moment where it felt like he knew me better than I knew myself, because I do like attention, but literally only when I'm performing or when I'm DJing, because that's like, it's not even an alter ego, because like it is, because it's for music, but it's also like an intrinsic part of me that only really comes out when I am interacting musically. And that's a huge, like that's how our relationship started. And like we're both artists, and like just the fact that he worked that into the proposal, and then also we make each other laugh all of the time. So the fact that we were all laughing at a comedy club like all the way up until the proposal, it just felt so right, so amazing. And it was in our city, so we had so many people who we knew there that supported us, that cared about us. There were some haters too, which I'll get to that, but like it was so surreal, and it was such an amazing experience. And also I just didn't expect it. Like in April we had started talking about, he had asked me what type of ring I wanted, so I knew it was coming, but I just didn't know when, because he was so good at acting like, okay, I don't have it right now, like maybe later. And he had it when we went to our Austin trip last month. And so like he's just been waiting and kind of figuring out what was right and what felt right. And he only started planning this a week prior as well. So it was like he had the ring, but he only knew he was gonna do it this moment for a week before it happened. And yeah, he just really pulled that off, and like he got an amazing ring. I actually don't have it right now because it needs to be resized, but best believe I'm putting pictures and videos up throughout this entire video. But it needs to be resized because they didn't have my exact size, so we just, quick fix. It'll be back in my hands in like a week and a half. But I cannot tell you, I just like, in that moment, I felt so much love, obviously, but like, I feel like if you know, you know, but like going through abusive, toxic relationships, and this is my first healthy relationship, and also it's my person, I've been through so much, and people who have can understand, but it's like to find a man that's willing to grow with you, to want to grow old with you, that loves you so much, that will do this of his own accord, like being with men who you feel like you have to get to have affection towards you, or like force it out of them, or they just seem to not, like they couldn't care less about you, which obviously is not, like, that's not it. But I feel like a lot of women can sadly relate to that, being in a relationship like that in the past or having experienced it before. And so I just, for so long, I just didn't think it was gonna ever happen to me. And I knew getting into this relationship, like, okay, this is my person. And like the longer we've been together, the more it's been solidified. So like I knew I want to spend the rest of my life with this person, but just having that like insecurity, that deep attachment and abandonment wound, and like basically being like, okay, yeah, we're talking about rings, but I still don't believe it. Just having this like idea of like, I don't believe it's happening. I don't believe it's happening until it's happening right in front of my face. And it's not that I like had doubt in him truly, because I didn't. It's like a defense mechanism, because I'm afraid of getting my hopes up. I'm afraid of being excited and happy for something and it being taken away from me, because it's like such a painful experience when that happens, and I know it would be so painful for the person that I love the most in the world. And so I was just kind of like, it's not gonna happen, and if it is, it's not gonna be for a long ass time. And obviously that's not a good mindset to have, but I'm in therapy for that, so we're working on it. But it's definitely like a heavy defense mechanism. So in that moment, not only was I feeling so much love and so much excitement, but I was also like This man has stuck around and been through so much with me as I kind of maneuver through past issues. And it's like, obviously no one's required to do that. And you shouldn't project on people point blank. Like, that's just not okay. But like, as I'm trying to sift through things and work through things, he's there for me. And that's what love really is. And I'm there for him as he's doing the same thing. And not a lot of people can figure that out. And not a lot of men are willing to even figure that out. So just the fact that I have such an amazing man, and I know there's going to be some dumb bird in the comments like, that's bare minimum. Trust, my man does far beyond just the bare minimum. But as someone who has gone through a lot in her life, especially with toxic piece of men, I'm telling you right now, the things that offer me stability, peace of mind, and respect are of the utmost importance to me. And so, yes, he spoils me and he goes above and beyond in every regard in our relationship, but these are the things that mean the most to me, and he provides that and so much more. And in that moment, I was so overwhelmed with joy. I was shaking. I was absolutely shaking. I was so excited, y'all, that I grabbed the box and I put the ring on my own finger. And the internet is up and in a frenzy about that, where it's like, okay, first of all, it was loud as shit in there. So I promise you, he could have said, will you marry me? But all it would have been was, I couldn't hear jack shit. Also, I was in shock, literally in shock. I wasn't processing anything that was happening, and that I am 100% a type of person that does that. When I get news that's crazy, crazy good, crazy bad, super exciting, whatever, super devastating, if it's a huge emotion in either direction, I'm going to tune out whatever is happening immediately in front of me. My immediate surroundings, it's not happening, and I'll be like, wait, what? Wait, huh? I promise you it would not have made a difference. I probably still would have forgotten to say yes because I'm inaudible at this point. And then also, mind you, we don't have examples of what a proposal is supposed to look like, okay? I think my dad was sitting on a tractor and just casually asked my mom, hey, do you want to get married? And we've come together as a couple and we've created a whole new idea of what healthy love and relationships looks like, because we didn't come from, you know, the most perfect 100% homes. We have people in our lives that are amazing and we have a relationship with our families, but like, we didn't have fantastic examples, all right? So that's just, I know I don't need to explain myself, but fuck you. And so what, I grabbed the ring. I was excited and I had been asking for that motherfucker. So yeah, I grabbed it. Also, I'm full speed. So I understand that getting on one knee and holding out a ring means, will you marry me? Like, everyone's so traditional. And it's crazy too, because my generation and millennials claim to be anything but traditional. Y'all are acting like boomers. So I grabbed the ring and I put it on my own finger. Also, it was a size too small, so I kind of had to mash that shit onto my finger. So imagine if I sat there and let my man try and wriggle it. It would have been awkward and weird as fuck. I'm glad I grabbed it because it's my proposal. It doesn't really matter what you think, now does it? But anyways, so I grabbed the ring, and then like I didn't realize it until after in the videos, but like our friend put up a screen that said she said yes, which is hilarious because I didn't technically, but yeah, anyways, I did because I grabbed the ring. So I go sit down, my man goes back to the booth for a little bit, and then he ends up coming back because our friend takes over for him and sitting with me for the rest of the show. I have more drinks, people are buying me shots, obviously it's a lit time. I'm walking back to the DJ booth when the show is over, and this grown-ass man is standing in the booth and looks at me and goes, trash. Okay, so is your bald spot. Why don't you get on stage and start rapping in front of 200 plus people and also in front of Nate Jackson? Why don't you do that? Huh? You can't. Because you're a bitch. Anyways, so I just completely ignored it. I just smiled because I literally honestly didn't even register that he was talking to me because he didn't really say it like to my face like that, and it was just in passing. So I was like, So I just kept on moving. And I kept moving. I went to the back, and obviously I'm with my man. We have some friends and family coming up to us just saying congratulations and all that stuff, and I love you guys so much. There was a couple of people at the show that knew us individually and like came up and said hi. You guys are so, so sweet. There's a lot of, like, I know some of the staff members. I've met them outside of their work establishment. We've developed relationships, and they're the sweetest, and they helped make the night, like, go so smooth and wonderfully, and I just appreciate all of the love and the people who were a part of that night, honestly. Like, genuinely, my heart, like, thank you guys so much. And then we go home. We go home and I walk in and the entire place is decorated. His mom and his cousins and his mom's friend, I believe, came in, and that's why he was trying to get me out of the house the entire time, was so that they had time to decorate. Luckily, they came in as soon as I left with my friend, and the show started an hour and a half late, so they ended up having time, but it was so cute. Everything was pink. There was cupcakes, there was donuts, they gave us a gift, there's rose petals, candles. I'll obviously insert video footage, but like, that part almost made me cry more because I've been wanting for a surprise birthday party, a surprise graduation celebration, an anniversary, I don't know, something. I have always wanted to be surprised, and I've always wanted decorations, like cute, just, I've always wanted that. I feel like every girl does, and so that part almost made me cry more than the proposal because I was just like, the thought put into this, and my future mother-in-law is so sweet for doing that, and like taking the time, spending the money on those decorations, doing all that, buying a plane ticket to get out here last minute. Like, I love her so much. She is so sweet. I'm so happy to be becoming part of that family. That was my engagement story. People who know us know a little bit more about our dating story, obviously, but I'd love to come on here with my man and like do like a questionnaire, like couples panel type of thing. But Nate posted it on his video, so he technically, or Nate posted the video on his page, so he technically broke the announcement before we got to, which is totally fine because we knew it was coming. But there's not a lot. I would say overwhelmingly there's way more love than hate on those posts. But he bought the ring. He planned that whole thing. He did all of that. I really don't want to hear the bullshit, and I will always come, like, I'm protective of the people I love, so I will always stand up for the people that I love, period, point blank, because you don't know anyone on the internet off of a 5-minute clip, okay? Nothing can trump the excitement of the moment. Nothing can take away from that moment for me at all. It's just, I'm so happy and so full of love, and I'm so excited to spend the rest of my life with the person I already knew I was going to. And I'm so thankful for our community of friends and the village that we have in Tacoma here, of people who have welcomed me with open arms, who I've met outside of my partner and realized that you guys were already in the same group. Like, the way the music industry in Tacoma has led me to so many amazing people, led me to my man, gave us a joint community of people who respect and love and support us so much. I love you guys so much. The whole time we've been dating, I've gotten so much, like, you guys are amazing together. Like, I love how you guys support and uplift each other, and a good couple with a good community and a good village to come around them and hold them both accountable and just support them. I don't know how much I can say that, but it is so important. And I just love you guys. I love you guys so much, and that was such a cool and awesome experience, and I keep watching the video over and over again because it's just surreal. I can't believe it. And yeah. Okay, talk to you guys later. Bye.